Pow Wow, yo yippee yay guys. Today it's Pow Wow 26. Super excited. We're going to have a special guest and we're going to dive deep into a lot of important subjects that you guys are going to enjoy. We're going to talk about SwissBorg in the news. We're then going to talk about the markets, how BTC and ETH is mooning. We're then going to deep dive into some basics and the foundation of what SwissBorg, the meritocracy model, that's the winning one. Then we're going to dive deep into SwissBorg data and some new updates. And we're going to finish by comparing the two best cross-chain solutions for anti-money laundering that we've been using at SwissBorg. Without further ado, let's start with a family picture. If you're not in it, you know what to do and you know exactly how to get into it. Talking about family and great news, we have Loe Marus and as well Alexander Turanov that have just joined. They're part of the community success team. If you have any questions, I'm sure they're going to help you very much. As you guys know, at SwissBorg, we take it very seriously, all the DeFi space. Since our decentralized governance around the referendums till today, we have been big advocates of DeFi. Tomorrow at Crypto Night, we're going to have a special show only on DeFi. All the best different sessions that we have with our wonderful guests will be within that 20-minute great Crypto Night show. So please check it out, and I'll be watching it tomorrow night. SwissBorg in the news. As you can see, my dear brother recently has been rocking out of the AIBC summit. But as well, there was a great article of Alex that has been done through City AM. He talks about what's the life working at SwissBorg and creating this new decentralized autonomous organization that we are. And, big props to Alex. Always great job and super happy to have it. If you haven't read the article, watch the video, please take a look, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it.
Warm welcomes to everyone who have tuned in to the Pow Wow. I am Anella, Cyrus's assistant, and I will be delivering the news to you today. So, news regarding actually YouTube. So Altcoin Daily, which is a YouTube channel with more than 200,000 subscribers, was actually taken down. And on the YouTube side, they said that they're encouraging illegal activities. In reality, they are actually just a news and opinion channel and have done nothing illegal. Now, YouTube gladly has put the channel back up, thanks to the help of the crypto community in Twitter, which we showed again that we're a force not to mess with. And but it's still worrying to see that the scam advertisements are still going down, and meanwhile YouTube is banning actual players who are providing us with very good content. So let's hope that will never happen again. And we've got US printing more money than they ever have before. They've printed around $600 billion, which is more than they did in 1776 and 1879. And as we know, in economics, printing more money doesn't really do anything to the economical output. It just creates more money in the circulation, and therefore the prices will increase, which can and most likely will lead to big inflation. It's just a matter of when and how. And then we've got a huge US firm gotten hacked. It's a travel company, and the hackers claim to have taken most of the private details of the consumers, so it was very necessary to get them back. And therefore the company paid $4.5 million in Bitcoin to the hackers to get the data back. The amount actually started with 10 million Bitcoin as the hackers requested, but why the company managed to talk it down to 4.5 million, saying that the Corona times and COVID times has been very difficult for them financially. So, but it's very sad to see another hack connected to Bitcoin. Then we've got the positive news of the week, where we've got Russian interest towards Paxful activity has surged 350%. They are actually an Estonian-based company, and over the last 4 months now, they've seen a huge surge in Russian clients, which could be due to the fact that they have applied in Russia so many new laws, and people are trying to find an alternative to the usual monolithic banking system. But it also could do with the crisis of Corona, when people have had more time maybe than they usually have. Then we've got Coinbase listing 19 more crypto assets. Two of them actually, one of them is already listed in the Wealth app, which is the Bax code, and also Header of Hashcraft is on the pipeline for us. And there's 70 more crypto assets you can check out, which they're listing, which is great. And then we've got Aave announcing their new Avenomics tokens and governance update, which is a very interesting white paper they gave out, and you can see 5 of the main changes that they will bring in. So it was my pleasure to bring you the news, and back to you, Cyrus.
Market update. As I guys told you last week, this is the bull season. This is what we've been waiting for a long time. Rather Bitcoin or Ether, they're both mooning. It looks like the next resistance is 14,000. So that means that we probably have an insane ride. How long is it going to go to that 14,000? We don't know, but we're definitely in a positive territory. And we all know that. And when we talk about Ether, it's exactly the same thing. We see that the story is even better. We're seeing more fundamentals, people buying different ERC20 tokens, people using more and more DeFi, and that shows a tremendous bull run for Ether, and we still have a lot of room improvement. So hope that your bags are quite full. If they're not, you know what to do. Beautiful question, and the answer is yes. Have we put in place a system where if you lose your account and you unfortunately die, can this be passed over to your children or to your wife and to your family? Yes. We just had a talk with our Chief Compliance Officer, Christophe Dizeron, and he said that it's quite, it would be a manual thing to do, but it wouldn't take too much time. We'll just need to know if the person has really died and see the proof of that. And then from that to see essentially from the notaria who does these funds will go to, and then we'll be transferring this value to the persons that should be getting the funds. So we back you on that, and hopefully in the future we could maybe add in the back office documents that could always show who we could pass it on. So that could be done quite easily. Talking about community and long-term people, Victor from Nigeria, really enjoy this guy for a long time. He's been in DAO doing great things, and what is really great about Victor is that he's part of the Nigerian community, which is a very growing one. We know that, today in terms of mining, in terms of wallet adoption, in terms of use of crypto, Nigeria is one of the biggest hubs in the world. We're really glad to have Victor. Thank you so much for the trust and the love that you've been sharing. Talking about love and talking about long term. If you guys remember reading this white paper over 3 years ago, not much has changed, to be honest. We stick to our roadmap. Obviously, there's, has been some delays. We have added features. We have adapted our whole model, but the consensus is the same thing. And talking about the consensus, I think so it's really the proof of merit. We've been talking for a long time that how can we go from, a small ecosystem to an entire DAO, and that would be done through a meritocratic mechanism. And we've seen that so far through the referendum. We've seen that so far through the DAO platform that we have put in place, where you could participate, collaborate in different ideas and different moderation and activities, and you could get rewarded. But how can we grow that to another extent and bring that even more within our token economy? The digital ID. We've been talking about this since the white paper till today. And, what is this digital ID and why is it so important? It's so important because we need to reward people basically not only on how much tokens they own, but as well on their behavior. Right? If we stick to just of the proof of stake, we just replace the token economy from shares to tokens, but it's pretty much the same concept. But what we really want to reward is your behavior. And that has been done already in the Wealth app. If you guys noticed, if you have contributed during the ICO, you don't need to stake 50,000 to be premium, but 5,000, right? If you look into the community app, there's so many different badges. And these badges, if you get all of them, you collect all of them, you essentially get to be a badge Hall of Famer. And this is exactly the mindset that we want to do going forward, is how you could combine the regular staking mechanism of how much tokens you And at the same time, what have you been doing? And how have you been contributing to grow our ecosystem? And that if you combine those two together, the number of staking and the behavior, then you really have this current hero level. So that's why I really want you guys to put in place that the future of SwissBorg, it's there. It's that combination that creates that hero score that enables you to get rewarded in a very fully meritocratic way. So this is more how, we really want to grow as an ecosystem, right? So having this smart ID with different stable coins and how much SwissBorg essentially tokens that you're staking and these achievements. And if you combine these two together and you see essentially the revenues that we make of our ecosystem and the governance rate that goes with it, we'll then try to put them on to every person that's within the ecosystem, right? So if you have done a lot, if you're staking a lot, you're going to be highly rewarded. If you stake a lot, but you don't do much, well, then you're not going to be as rewarded as the other person. And if you don't have a lot of stake, but you are a massive contributor, well, that means you could then potentially earn a fair amount of reward as well. And that's something that, we really want to put in place because, let's compare Roger Ver to a regular Bitcoin guy that got into Bitcoin in 2011. On one hand, we have Roger Ver that's been probably one of the biggest advocate of Bitcoin and obviously Bitcoin Cash after, and has been playing multiple different roles of creating Bitcoin.com, putting a lot of people into Bitcoin. And maybe let's say that Roger Ver has 1 million Bitcoins, right? And then there's the other guy who said like, oh, well, the Bitcoin is at, 0.0001 cent. I'll just put $10,000 in it, a lot of cash, and I'll buy this 1 million Bitcoins, right? If those people, two people, Roger Ver and the other guy, today, their wealth is pretty much the same. Though Roger Ver has contributed much more, and is that makes sense or not? From my perspective, it doesn't, because on one side you have been an advocate that has actually grown the network and educated the world, and the other part there's just a guy who invested. And if you think that both people should be rewarded the same way, it just doesn't make sense. You have to be rewarded if your heart is in the good place and rewarding the entire community, right? And that's something that we want to really put in place. Coinfirm. What is Coinfirm and what is as well Elliptic? These two firms are the pioneers and the leaders of AML on the blockchain, anti-money laundering. They do cross-chain solutions, and which enables people to see if the funds are clean or if they're semi-clean or if they're completely dirty. And in the case of what Anela just brought up with news is that we've seen this crypto hack recently, and we want to see if those funds went to the Wealth app, would that be clean or not? So let's check it out. When you look at Coinfirm, you see you put the address in and you could see the score that it's 93% delicate. In this situation, you're like, okay, that means that 73% of it comes from identity theft and 27% of it comes from other risk indicators. And you could look into the chain and you could look into the entire history of all the cross chains and as well eventually of all the transactions that's been done from wallets to wallets. So in this case, for example, in the Wealth app, if it's over 50, we would not have taken the crypto from this main hack. Let's look as well for Elliptic, which is a great solution as well that they do cross-chain analysis and that we use. We like them very much. They have a great team. We hopefully will have them in Crypto Night very soon. And let's say for them, is the hack legit or not? Would we accept it within the Wealth app? Well, here we see that the wallet risk is 10. So it's the highest possible. So, and if you scroll down, you look more into this, it says it goes to essentially even the source of why it is. So it's a Twitter scam that happened recently, as we know, and you saw the wallet inflows in terms of dollars, which was $230, the outflows $220. And it's a great way for us to make sure that whatever crypto comes within the Wealth app, it is clean, because it's very important for us to do know your community and as well anti-money laundering before accepting any crypto, and we really want to make sure that crypto is clean and what we're doing is legit. Talking about legit, we're now at 140,000, which is really great. We know that the community app will have a second version, which is really exciting. I think so. A lot of people have been asking for this. The competition will definitely end hopefully soon. We'll let you know more about that. Talking about as well great data and great news. We have 33,000 people on the app. It's been growing. Essentially through the referrals. We have as well 34 million assets under management that came from the new people depositing, but as well the fact that Bitcoin and Ether has been growing. More importantly, we have as well with this 8,800,000 of volume. So there's been volume that's been growing like 14%, which is great. Talking about premium and how cool it is, average active investor or trader within the app has already saved $666 per user, and that's not to be the devil advocacy, but that is a great amount. Over $1 million, almost $1 million that have been saved. That's how great our premium is. We have now roughly 33 million CHSB that's staked, 50 premium that came in this week. Many more will come, obviously, when we'll add more different premiums. Last but not least, we have a great amount of volume that people have been buying and trading Ether and Bitcoin, and we're super glad about this. It really shows that people are enjoying and understanding as well when to get in, when to get out, and that makes us extremely happy. Like always, guys, my name is Cyrus Fazel. I'm the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg. Always here to serve you. I always love doing this. Please comment, share this video, and wish you a great life with much love and much happiness. Thank you.